Very good morning to you, children. Today I have decided to take up The Old Man at the Bridge with you. Since the story is a little, it has levels of meanings and symbolism, so I decided to uh, take up this platform for an explanation of the story. When I am going to be explaining the story to you, I expect you to keep the textbook close by and listen carefully. Listen to the explanation, reread the text again along with the explanation, and after that, if you have any doubts, you can get back on WhatsApp. Old Man at the Bridge is a story written by Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway was an American novelist, short story writer, and journalist. And though he used very simple language in writing his stories and texts, he had a lot of symbolism also included in them, and there were layers of meaning. Now the story Old Man at the Bridge is very interesting and very beautiful, because he picks up on a very normal incident, an old man sitting at one side of the bridge. The war is the bigger event, but the incident we are talking about, this old man sitting at one side of the bridge. It's a very normal scene at that situation, in that situation. And he picks up on that and he brings a beautiful message across. A message against violence, a message against war. So this story, if it is to be categorized under any genre, then you could easily call it a story that is an anti-war in nature. The background of the story is the Spanish Civil War, which was taking place in around the 1930s. During that time, the Republicans and the Nationalists were fighting against each other for the power, for political power. However, the incidents of the Spanish Civil War is not important. What is important is the universal message that the story gives to the readers. All right. Now, Ernest Hemingway was a journalist, and he was actually a correspondent during this Spanish Civil War, meaning to say that he was sent to record the events and report about the events. He was a news reporter of this war, and he went and he was reporting, and when he saw this old man sitting near the bridge, he, instead of reporting that just as a report, he builds a beautiful story around it. Now the story is written by Ernest Hemingway, but the narrator is an army scout in the story. Okay, so now we will begin with the story. The story begins with the old man who is sitting on one side of a pontoon bridge. A pontoon bridge is a temporary bridge. Okay, a pontoon bridge is a temporary bridge that floats on water, which is supported beneath by boats and barges. He was sitting on one side of the road. He wore steel-framed spectacles, and he had very dusty clothes. And across the bridge there was a lot of movement, lots of people, carts, trucks, everything was moving. The nature of the bridge is that it is temporary. There is not supposed to be so much of heavy movement, but the situation is extraordinary. It is at the time of war. The situation is extraordinary and people are moving away. So the image across the bridge is an image of displacement. People getting across in order to save their lives. So there were carts, there were trucks, there were men, women, children crossing it. The carts were drawn by mules. They staggered, they moved unsteadily. Soldiers were there, so they helped push the carts. The trucks ground up, that is, they crushed the ground and they moved forward. They were heavy trucks. And then there were also peasants, farmers, common people who were plodding along the road, the bridge. Plodded is to walk slowly or walk heavily. Because they have been walking, they are tired, they are carrying loads and they are moving. That is why the word plodded has been used. However, in contrast to all the movement across the bridge, there sat the old man completely still in one corner of the bridge. And it was quite clear that being old, he was too tired to move. The narrator is introduced in the next paragraph. It was my business to cross the bridge, explore the bridgehead beyond and find out to what point the enemy had advanced. So, the narrator is an army scout. His job is to go across the bridge to look at the bridgehead. The bridgehead is the army post that is created at the head of the bridge. So from there he is supposed to look out at how far the enemies have advanced. Then he is supposed to come back and report to his seniors, the officers. That is his duty. So he did this. Now it took him some time to go and come back. So even after he come back, he was a little surprised to see the old man still sitting there, because he expected, like the other people, the old man will also move forward. However, when he returned, most of the people had crossed the bridge and there were fewer carts now, but the old man sat still in that place. Automatically a conversation starts. The narrator is curious, so he asks, "Where are you coming from?" And the old man says with pride. Look at the expression. He said it in such a way that it gave him pleasure to mention it, and he smiled. So the old man is proud to say that I come from San Carlos. There is pride and happiness because San Carlos is his hometown. And then he says, "I was just taking care of animals." Okay, this is to show that he is simply an innocent victim of the war. He was not a part of the war. He is not a soldier. He is not fighting against anyone. He was simply a harmless citizen taking care of his animals. And the army scout did not quite understand, because this old man did not look like a shepherd who would have a lot of animals. So he was a little confused. But the old man went on. He said, I stayed in order to take care of these animals that were left behind. That was his excuse. Got it? He did not want to leave his hometown. It was his excuse that he stayed back to take care of his animals. And he says, I was the last one to leave San Carlos. He did not look like a shepherd, therefore, and I looked at his black dusty clothes and his dusty face and asked him, if he is not a shepherd, then what animals were he taking care of? So he asked, what animals were they? He said there were a variety of animals, but I had to leave them. And it shows the regret. The regret is not just because of leaving the animals, but the regret is at being forced to leave his hometown, which he did not want at all. Then the narrator says, I was watching the bridge and the African looking country of the Ebro Delta. The Ebro River is a river in Spain. African looking country because beyond that area it looked wild and uncivilized. And you could also say that this is an unknown area. This side of the bridge, they know, they are familiar with. And that side, down there, far away, that's an unknown territory. So it looked like an African looking country, and wondering how long now it would be before we could see the enemy, and listening all the while for the first noises that would signal that ever mysterious event called contact. And the old man still sat there. So he was looking out to watch for the enemy, and he was also listening carefully to the sounds that would show that the combat, the fighting had started. That is contact, that both enemies had come and the fight had started. So the man, out of curiosity, asked him what animals were they, and he said there were 3 animals altogether. There were 2 goats, there was a cat, and there are 4 pairs of pigeons. Then the man says, so you had to leave them? Yes, he says, because of the artillery. Artillery is firing. Artillery is basically that wing of the army which deals with the firearms. So the firing had started taking place, and the captain had asked him to leave from the area because very soon it was going to become dangerous. Then he asked, you have no family? He says, no, it was only the animals. The cat, of course, will be all right. A cat can look out for itself. But I cannot think what will become of the others. Here you need to understand, he's saying a cat will be all right because cat is associated with cleverness. A cat is supposed to be a clever and a flexible creature. But pigeons and goats, they are very innocent. They are supposed to be extremely innocent, and they're not so quick to respond like cats. Okay, and goat is definitely an image of a sacrificial animal, an animal who gets sacrificed. Okay, so he says the cat can probably take care of itself. It's intelligent, it's clever, it can look after itself. But what about the others? Then out of curiosity, the army scout asks him, what politics have you? Politics is which side do you support? What is your view about the war? Which side do you support? And his answer is very important. He says, I am without politics. Again, the second place where it is shown very clearly that this old man is nothing but an innocent victim of the war. He has no politics, he has no desire but to lead a peaceful life. And he is, as he mentions, 76 years old. And he has been walking for 12 kilometers. And of course his old bones are tired. An old man like that wants nothing but to live the rest of his life peacefully in his hometown before his death. But look at the cruelty of war, that it has displaced an old and helpless man. But the army scout says this is not a good place to stop. This is dangerous. Anytime attack can take place. And then he suggests that why don't you go ahead? There are trucks up the road where it separates where it forks, divides for Tortosa. Tortosa is another Spanish town. But the old man is not willing to go. He says, all right, I'll wait a while and then I'll go. Where do the trucks go? Because you can go onto the trucks. So he's saying, all right, where do the trucks go? They go towards Barcelona. These are safer areas. But the old man, the tragedy of the old man is that I know no one in that direction. He doesn't know anyone. And at this age, at the age of 76, he is not flexible like the cat, that he can make a living again, all over again at this old age in a place where he knows no one. So he is reluctant to move. He looked at me very blankly and tiredly and then said, having to share his worry with someone, the cat will be all right, I suppose. There is no need to be tensed about the cat. What about the others? What is your opinion about the others? Okay, the repetition is there, so which shows that he's just not talking about the animals. He is talking about something else other than the animals. Then the scout says, well, they'll probably come across through it all right. That means they'll probably survive. And this is heavily ironical because in times of war, it is the animals that have a better survival rate than humans. Okay, so the statement is ironical. The man again says, the old man, you think so? Why not? He said. Now, though the narrator is making conversation with the old man, he is not totally involved. He is impersonal. He's just talking because the old man happens to be there, and so he continues talking and says, why not? They'll take care of themselves. He's not really bothered as such. But the old man again asks question, what about when the firing starts? What will they do under the heavy firing? I was told to leave because of the artillery. They must also be in danger then. Then he takes a little interest and he says, okay, did you leave the dove's cage unlocked? And he mistakes the pigeons for doves. Doves are a clear symbol of peace. So mentioning the doves here shows that there is a desire for peace. So did you leave the dove's cage unlocked? And the man says yes. Then they'll fly away. Then nobody can harm them. Yes, certainly they'll fly. So peace will come at the end of it. Peace will be there. But what about the others? It is about the others I'm worried about. Then he says, okay, I'll not think about them. Then the man continues to tell him, you know, if you are well rested now, if your fatigue is gone, then you must get up and walk, because this is not a safe place. Thank you, he said, and he tried to stand up, but he could not. He swayed, he moved, he became unsteady, and he sat down again. Then he says, I was taking care of animals. I was only taking care of animals. So what was my fault in all this? That is the thing that he actually wants to ask. I was simply taking care of animals and it was simply harmless act. So why was I displaced like this is a question that beats in his mind. Then when I talked about there is some deeper meaning to the animals that have been used here, you can think of the cat as either the powerful leaders who are fine, they are clever, they are intelligent, they will make the soldiers fight for them, so nothing will happen to them. Or they could be the clever, younger, flexible people who can easily go to other places and they can somehow manage to start over again. The doves, as already mentioned, could be a symbol of peace. There is a desire for peace. But the goats, okay, the goats are the people like the old man. They are simply, they will simply have to die for no reason. They are innocent victims and they will be sacrificed for no proper reason. Last stanza is very important. There was nothing to do about him. That means the army scout, the narrator is saying, he could not be moved. Nothing could be done about him. He kept sitting there. It was Easter Sunday. This is heavily ironical because Easter Sunday is supposed to be resurrection of Jesus Christ. Easter Sunday is supposed to be about hope. Okay, it was on Good Friday that Jesus Christ was crucified. He was supposed to have been resurrected on Easter. So there is supposed to be a sense of hope on Easter Sunday, but the story provides no hope. Okay, so he says it was Easter Sunday, and right after that he says the fascists were advancing towards the Ebro. The fascists were the nationalists. The fascist form of government would be the dictatorial form of government. They were being led by Francisco Franco at that time, and they were supported by fascists like Hitler and Mussolini. They were also fascists, okay, absolute dictatorial rulers. So the fascist approaching shows that there is no respite, there is no hope. If the fascists take over, it will be dictatorial, and anyway the war is going to take place, which will mean loss of innocent lives. So it was Easter Sunday, but the fascists were approaching. It was a grey, overcast day with a low ceiling, so their planes were not up. That and the fact that cats know how to look after themselves was all the good luck that the old man would ever have. So the day is overcast, means it is cloudy. Because it is cloudy, the planes will not be able to see through, the areas will not be visible, and so the fighter planes will not be flying that day. So probably there won't be so much of loss of life on that particular day, but that is the only hope, because the grey, the the cloud cover will disappear soon enough, and soon enough there will be the war in which lots of lives will be destroyed. The story is set on Easter Sunday of 1938, and as you can see from the ending, it is a heavy criticism of war. So we are not just talking about a Spanish civil war or war in any one small area, but the story is talking about the universality, okay, the universal idea that war is destructive. It displaces people, it destroys property, and it leads to the displacement and death of innocent victims of the war, like this old man. So though today he is alive, it's Easter Sunday, nothing bad will happen today. But the Easter Sunday does not give hope for the future, because the next day the planes will be up and there will be firing and the innocent victims will die. The cats will survive. Some of the people who are young, flexible, they may run away, they may protect themselves. But the old man who has no way to protect himself, such other innocent lives will be destroyed. So, look at how well the story has been constructed. There is no bloodshed in the whole story. There is no violence in the entire story. But when you read the story, you can quite clearly understand that the author is criticizing war and its after effects. And peace is the desired state of affairs, not war. Okay? Now the title, Old Man at the Bridge, very clearly it's speaking about the old man who was sitting on one side of the bridge. The significance of the bridge is that for some people the bridge happens to be a bridge to life, that is escape. The people who can cross and who can go over and who will reach on time before the fighting starts, they may survive. But also on the other hand, the bridge can be, for the old man especially, a bridge into the unknown. The man may cross the bridge, but there is no guarantee that he will survive because he's too old and he knows no one and he doesn't know how to build a life. So crossing the bridge for him does not mean survival. The bridge very clearly for the old man is nothing but doom and destruction. That is why very wonderfully the story has been titled as Old Man at the Bridge. Now I hope you have understood the story. Please repeat listening to this as long as you need to till you have understood. If you have not understood specific words, you can easily look up the dictionary, and I will be giving you a time for taking up doubts. In that particular time, you will message me personally. Alright, so go through the story. It's a beautiful story. I'm sure all of you will like it and appreciate it. And now that I have given you the explanation, I'm sure you will also understand it quite clearly. Alright. Good. Have a good day, everyone.